Hello and welcome to the Random Randomness Podcast. I am your host, Amara Franklin, here with Ben Beverly. And today we're going to be talking about weird laws that still exist in the US. But first, we have our icebreakers. So I am very indecisive and I have three that I really like. So I'm going to have you pick a number and I'm going to give you your three options if I can get my numbers. I love having you pick numbers. Okay. So your choices are 111, 119, and 129.
The 19 one.
119. Okay. If you could be any animal in the world, what animal would you choose to be?
Well, because my favorite animal is the quokka, but it's just like it's a happy animal for me to look at. It's my screensaver.
Oh
So
my
I don't want to
God,
be one though, because I can't be that happy all the time.
they're so cute.
I think my spirit animal's always been a wolf though. I don't know why, because I have it's just like a connection. So I'm gonna be a wolf because I love the woods.
That is a good one for you. For me,
Except I'm not a carnivore though, so maybe an otter.
I'm either a wolf or an otter. I'm either dangerous to be around, really pretty, or I'm just like the most adorable, loving little creature.
I think otters eat meat too. So either way, I don't know.
I don't really see you as like an otter. I love you, but
I'm
no.
a koala.
Oh, that's cute. I think I would be like a monkey, but like one of those little, like, what are they called? Like the one from Friends, like how he had his monkey that like hung out on his shoulder and like went everywhere with him. Like that's the kind of monkey I would be. I would 100% be a monkey because they're wild, they're feral, they give no shits, and they're so fun to be around.
The Jungle Book, those monkeys on there.
I haven't seen the Jungle Book since I was like a child.
I just watched it. But there's like one that reminds me of you. Right when you said that, I just picture that because it was like wild and crazy and loud and like
Just me. Yes. So I would 100% be a monkey. Okay. So now let's talk about the weird laws that still exist. Now I got mine because, research is important. So I got mine all from the lawyerportal.com and you got yours from ChatGPT. So
first of all, avid fan of ChatGPT. That was on my not my homework, just kidding. But yeah, that's where I got it.
I love it. I love it so much. I mean, in full disclosure, ChatGPT writes the show notes for all of our episodes. So thank you, robot. Okay, so I'll go first. So we each kind of came up with, well, we didn't come up with shit. We each had some other person and or robot do our work for us and come up with 5 of these weird laws. So I will start because this one is very funny to me. Your bingo has a time limit. If you are a bingo lover, you'll hate to find out that the game cannot last more than 5 hours in North Carolina. It's even worse if you like a glass of wine while playing, because in this state, it's illegal to be intoxicated while playing bingo.
That's my
What?
dream.
To be drunk at like 70 and playing bingo? Or,
No, you can't drink, it said, right?
right. So your dream is to go to bingo for no more than 5 hours and to be sober.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then in bed by 9, of course.
Oh, I know. There's a reason why in a previous episode we called you grandpa. What they don't realize is that that's because you basically are a grandpa in a 30-something-year-old woman's body.
I know, but I really lean into that character as well.
You do. You really do. And you're just like, I don't want to look and talk to people. I'm like peering out at the neighbors through the blinds. So,
Yeah, complete opposites.
so different.
Hiding.
So different. Like, inside, oh, I hate talking to people. Oh, hi, how are you? Shit in my yard.
That was my issue with not doing OnlyFans, because I was like, oh, I can take my clothes off for money, no big deal. But then you're like, you have to go network and talk to people. I was like, no, I'll pass.
So bad. Okay, so I have some issues with this one. Okay, So, first of all, I mean, I haven't played bingo in a long time. I think the only time I have is like in a casino, probably while I was already intoxicated. But like, I envision myself being like, an old lady, like wanting to go play some bingo. And like, yeah, give me some wine. I don't understand why there's a law that it cannot last more than 5 hours, but also why bingo for 5 hours? Got to be sober. What is the fun of playing bingo? All right, give me yours. What do you got for me?
Did you do 5?
No, I did one. I thought we'd bounce back and forth.
Oh, okay. I thought you did too, somewhere along the line. S my ChatGPT, it says in Switzerland, it's illegal to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. in apartment buildings to prevent noise disturbances.
Ew, so, like, you have to just, like, leave it smelly in your toilet till the morning time?
How close together are the apartments?
Well, I mean, it's apartment, they're all touching.
Well, I've never heard anybody flush the toilet in an apartment.
I have. I've lived in apartments where you can hear
Okay.
literally everything.
I hear raves, I don't hear toilets.
I've heard, yeah. I've lived in some pretty awful apartments, though, but nothing will top the apartment that I lived in for 5 days, which I was like, "Oh, this apartment will be great. It's the same place that you lived in, and I used to visit you all the time because you never told me that place was infested with cockroaches and crackheads." Um,
Well, I mean, somebody literally gave me a cockroach, one of those spray cans, like, the day we moved in, and they're like, "You're gonna need this."
same.
And I was like, "Bro, I'm
Yeah.
16."
I'm like, "Great." Like, got my apartment, loving this place, and then the next morning, I'm like, "Who the fuck is knocking on my door at, like, 9 in the morning?" I work
A
nights, people.
cockroach.
And I, like, opened the door. It was, like, the guy coming to spray. He's like, "I'm here for your weekly, like, spray." I'm like, "My weekly what?" And then I come home, like, the next day. Like, it was 5 days of hell, okay? Like, cockroaches. My neighbor who moved in 2 days before me, and we worked at the same casino, um, shows up at my like, calls me in a panic and is like, "Dude, I just saw somebody looking through my window." Because remember in the bathroom, I don't know if yours had it because you were on the upstairs, but I was on the downstairs. In the shower, there was like a little window, so you could like open it for like I don't. But there was like somebody staring through that window while she was showering. It was awful. It was awful. I lived around the corner for 3 years and like did not know that it was that bad.
We moved on up a little.
We did move on up just a tad bit. Okay, this one, I cannot believe this one. No donkeys in Arizonian bathtubs. It must be one this is must be one of the strangest laws in the United States on our list. In the 1920s, a home in Arizona was flooded while a donkey was asleep in a bathtub. It eventually filled up and flooded, and the animal was swept away. So the townspeople were able to rescue the donkey and then made a law that you can no longer have a donkey in the bathtub. And apparently that law is still still on the books in Arizona.
Well, as somebody who's from over Arizona originally, I would concur there is a ton of donkeys to make that rule.
So like here's what I'm wondering, like what happens if you're just like, "Hey, pet donkey, let's give you a bath." Like and then a neighbor is like, "Oh my god, they gave their donkey a bath." Do you get arrested or is it like a fine? Like what happens if you're caught with your donkey in a bathtub in Arizona? Do you have to like cross state lines just to give your donkey a bath?
You have to go to a special bath or a special donkey bather.
Okay, well you lived in Arizona before you came here and
I
then
didn't
went
have
back
a
there.
donkey.
I'm just wondering. Well, no, but like you say that there's special donkey bathing areas. Where are they?
I'm kidding. I have no fucking clue. I've only seen them on the road.
I know you're kidding. I don't think that that's actually a thing. Alright, give me hit me with another one. What do you got?
With the number 2 in Sam in Samoa. I know how to pronounce it because I just watched 90 Day Fiancé. So it's in Samoa. It's illegal to forget your wife's birthday, which I agree, unless you're like 40, because then why would you want to?
I say never mind because I'm almost 40.
No, I just think like if I was 40, I wouldn't want to like keep going like but like another 40 years of birthdays. Like I don't need to go through all that.
No, I don't care. Celebrate my birthday every freaking year because I am a national treasure. Okay. Well, wait, that was yours. Okay, so I have another one. Okay, so this one I find really interesting. It's called Sit and Spit Only. Even though the drinking age in the United States is 21, and okay, it says in 4 states in America, there is a strange loophole. It doesn't say which one. So it does say Illinois, but it also says that there's 4 other states in
Course.
America. There's like a loophole that if you are a student at a culinary school, you can consume wine underage as long as you take the sip and you spit it out. Because the purpose of it is basically like if you're in culinary school, you need to understand wine and like what wine might pair with certain things or why
Yeah.
a certain wine might change the flavor or whatever the thing is. And so you have to be able to have like access to it, but you're not allowed to consume it under 21. So you can take the sip and then you have to spit it out. If you don't spit
That's
it out, you're breaking the law, but
100.
if you spit it out, you're fine.
That's not where I thought you were gonna go once you started that sentence. But totally, totally there for the culinary aspect of it.
Yeah. The sit
And the other aspect of it, 100% yeah, I don't know.
I mean, depends.
Girl.
Anyway, okay, give me your next one. I think you're on number 3.
Yeah. Number 3, in Florida, it's illegal to tie an elephant to a parking meter without paying the fee, just like you would a car. I was just in Florida, and I don't know that I saw too many elephants at a parking meter, so can't say. But like, what? Like, if you were in like Africa, I would be like, okay, that makes sense. It's Florida, but Florida's fucking weird.
Elephants at a parking meter? Like what?
It's illegal to tie them to the parking meter. Like, why
Yeah,
are we
but like
lighting them down the like downtown or just in a? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to go from here, but it's not Florida.
I wonder if somebody was just like hammered or high and they're just like, I wonder if anybody will notice that we put this law out there. Like, there's no other like explanation.
Just make random shit. I know. I probably should have like looked into this more and be like, what? This is
Well, if you like Google it or something and it's just like made the fuck up because ChatGPT is fucking weird.
no. I was like, you're not lying to me, are you, Chat GPT? And then she was like, no, it's so current from 2022. And I was like, I'll take it.
I'll take it. You're not lying.
You know,
You're
you told me.
totally accurate all the time. Okay. Hmm. In New Hampshire, it is illegal to collect seaweed from public beaches at night specifically. Do as you will during the daylight hours. This was introduced as a result of seaweed's relatively lucrative resale value in some context.
Yeah.
Uh,
Seaweed's
what?
good though.
But like, why is it only illegal to do it at night, but you can collect all the seaweed you want during the day? Like, what?
I feel like at night is more like dangerous because you have like the currents and more like the sharks are more prevalent. So that would be my theory just from being an underwater special. I'm just kidding.
You're like, I'm an underwater specialist and I chat GPT every single thing. I don't chat
Right?
GPT everything, just things that I need to sound smart on or professional for. But I do ask Alexa literally every question I ever have.
Yeah, she makes my life choice.
It's the greatest thing ever. Okay. Um, yours. What do you have for me?
And just wait, what did you just do?
I did the seaweed one.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so we're on 4.
Yes.
So in Japan, it's illegal to be obese, and citizens between the ages of 40 and 74 must have their waistlines measured annually. I feel like old people need to be left alone.
I have to look that up. Is that literally a thing?
In Japan,
So okay, so here's a question. I'm a big girl. What happens if I move to Japan? I mean,
Well,
I've
you have
never.
2 years to have well, it doesn't even say well, I guess just not like I don't know. I don't know.
Japan obesity laws with
Oh,
waistline measures. Anyone with a weight related medical concern and whose weight is bigger than the acceptable size, a rigorous 33.5 inches for men and 34.4 inches for women, must lose weight according to a new law. And
you
this
get a
is
line.
from the Street Journal. That was June 2008.
Did it change?
I don't know. It does say the Florida Times Union in 2016 says, is it illegal? Blah, blah, blah. Still, it is not a crime to be fat in Japan, as most of these viral posts state. Japanese citizens can't be fined or imprisoned. And then there's more that I didn't read. So, interesting. That's sad. Okay, so here's mine. Now, this I don't understand. I do not understand why this is listed as a weird law. It is illegal to drive blindfolded in the city of Alabama. First of all, Alabama's a state, so, like, how much do I trust the lawyerportal.com anymore? Um, because it says in the city of Alabama, Alabama is a state unless there is a city of Alabama in another state, but they're not clarifying. Either way, but the law doesn't stop here. It also says that drivers aren't allowed to drive a car if they can't see what's in front or on the side of it. How is this a weird law that is literally driving? Give me one valid reason why you would be driving blindfolded.
Kidnapping. Oh wait, no, you're
You're
being
Well, that's what I was thinking too.
we don't
It's
put the
like, okay, is
kidnapping
it
in the
the
driver's seat.
like, does that mean you can't be the passenger and be blindfolded? Because obviously you wouldn't want to be blindfolded unless it's like, you're picking up your partner for like a surprise and like put on this blindfold and like right. But also, why would you want to drive blindfolded?
I mean, I love a good rush. Like I'll do it, like on the Boston freeway. Fuck it.
You're gonna so get this podcast canceled before we even get like people out of me to listen. I love the whole text editor thing, so I can just highlight your words and just like delete the ones that make you seem like a psychopath.
First of
Joking.
all, everybody out here is. Second of all, you're a silent psychopath.
I am what?
You're like you watch way more murder
Yeah.
crazy shit than I do.
In fact,
I just
based on
did
our
realize.
conversation earlier, I put on my I like murder shows and comfy clothes and three people sweatshirt specifically for our podcast because we were talking about murder shows earlier. I did not brush my hair or put on a bra though, but I did wear the sweater for you.
Well, thank you for dressing up.
You're
I'm
so
in my workout
welcome.
gear.
I mean, I did take my hair out of the clip and then I went to go brush it, but I don't know where the kids put the brush this morning. Um, After the 15 minutes of please, just for the love of God, put on some shoes and socks and let me brush your hair so that we can get you to the school bus before mommy stabs herself in the eyeball.
Oh my god, I woke up to birds chirping this morning.
Very different lives. So I'm super upset with myself. Okay. So I decided that I need to have a new routine because the other night I fell asleep early because, I'm up until like midnight, get up at 6. And I fell asleep super early, woke up at 2:30 in the morning, couldn't go back to sleep. So I was like, I'm just gonna write in bed. So I pulled out my laptop and I started working my book. And I wrote so many words. I was all creative. I was so happy. It was so great yesterday. So I was like, I'm gonna do this every day. I'm gonna go to bed by 10 and get up at like 4:30. So I took a melatonin last night. I did not get up before 4:30. I slept more than I have in a very long time and I woke up feeling awful. I had like a sleep hangover and I did not get the productive stuff done that I wanted to do. So I'm really, really, really upset about that. What that has to do with any of this, I don't know, but I really needed to share this with you.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
It was awful. Frank is sorry too. It was
But I
awful.
sleep 12 hours in general, so
Well, when I set up like a new alarm, like wake up routine on my Alexa, so it turns my lights on and then it plays 2 minutes of Taylor Swift Bad Blood, and then it tells me a positive affirmation and tells me I'm gonna have a great day and be productive.
Oh my
But the problem
gosh.
is
And then you go
I
to
don't
your
like
3 hours of murder podcast.
I love that you think it's 3 hours. Well, yeah. Anyway, so then, the lights come on this morning, Bad Blood comes on, but the problem is all I had to do was tell her to shut the fuck up, and then she just stops, and the rest of it doesn't happen, and I don't have to get out of bed. So now I need to find, like, another alarm that I can set across the room. So, like, when that shit happens and I just tell her to go away, I can have to get out of bed to get the next alarm because that's the only way that I will wake up in the morning. And I don't wake up to birds chirping, like, I wake up to Frank barking or growling at me for
I don't know
existing.
how you can sleep in that house. It's literally like chaos. Like kids are screaming, throwing things. Frank is barking
I'm sorry,
or like
my
things
child is not
on
throwing things, he is trying to bounce a ball into the wall to practice wall ball.
on a window.
Technically the door, but the door has a window on it.
I was like, I'm gonna go in here and study it. It was all I was like, sir, what? Why? Why? Why that thought?
Yeah, that's where I tell him to go because it's either that or the kitchen, and if he does it in the kitchen, he's banging it against the neighbor's wall. So at least he's like I tell him to go there because it's the farthest space away from where the neighbors are.
When I was younger, we got hit if we played inside.
Yeah, that's because
Good old
you
millennial
have,
trauma.
like, trauma.
But that's anywhere. Like you're not supposed to be throwing balls in the house.
I mean,
You
technically,
break
he's not
it.
throwing the ball, he's bouncing the ball into the door. It's a difference. Also, he
Wow.
doesn't know where that ball is, man. That ball is gone. It's not gone, gone, but it's
Balloon
hitting really good.
the balloon game I was down with,
Keep you uppy.
yeah, yeah, I was really down. I feel like we're sidetracked. Did we finish the question?
No, we each have to do one more. My
Why?
ADHD is on fire today, okay? What time is it too? Do I have okay, I have to get back to work in a few minutes. Okay. We each have one more. So I did the don't drive blindfolded in Alabama. That just seems like that should be everywhere. Also, Alabama's a state, unless there's a city called Alabama and I'm just dumb. Give me your next one.
So the last one is in Italy. It's illegal to build sandcastles on the beach without a permit. So I'm gonna have to get a permit when I go.
Why can't you build a state castle? Is it like a structure?
I feel like I'm pretty good at sandcastles, and if somebody's gonna limit my talents, I'm gonna cry. I wonder like what it would be for. Maybe they do like contests or something, you know what I mean? And you have to like pay to enter. I don't really know what the permit is. I just know that everybody charges for everything.
That seems like a really depressing law.
All of them are depressing, except when you're not like having it be illegal to forget your wife's birthday. Because I would call up and be like, "Don't piss me off on my birthday," and then they piss me off, and I'd be like, "Oh, they forgot my birthday. Come get them. Enjoy your night in jail, sweetheart."
You know how you gave me that attitude yesterday when I asked you to go pick up the potato chips? Guess what, bitch? You just forgot my birthday.
My birthday every day.
Jailed. So this one's interesting. Apparently, no pinball in South Carolina. If you're under 18, the state of South Carolina, sorry, in South Carolina, if you're under 18, the state of South Carolina won't allow you to play pinball. It's considered addictive and morally dangerous behavior. A status offense violation will be offered to you if you go ahead anyways.
Where?
South Carolina? I mean, it's pinball. How is that morally dangerous behavior? I
And I'm
feel
sure
like
alcohol's illegal there,
no, I mean, maybe on Sundays. Like there's a lot of places like you
like
can't I'm pretty sure
Utah.
even in Oregon you can't like buy alcohol on a Sunday and you can only go or no, I think you can buy it any day, but you have to go to certain places. I don't remember. I only lived there for 15 years. I don't know what
I
I don't
never.
remember. But I know you can only go into certain places to buy alcohol. Like you have to go to a
Yeah,
designated, like liquor store.
the same out here. Yeah,
Then I
but
moved
like
back
in
to
Nevada,
Nevada
you
and it's
can
like,
drink
oh,
wine.
7-Eleven, you can go to Safeway.
They have what are they, like, the slot machines? And I was
Mhm.
like,
First time when we
so
came to visit, like, the boys walked into the 7-Eleven with me, they're like, "Ooh, games." I'm like, "Not for you. This is not your game." And then, we get in the car this morning, and Jason's like, "Oh, mom, I know how you can get rich." And how am I gonna get rich, Jason? He's like, "You can play the lottery. You go and you buy a ticket and you put our birthdays down and your lucky number, and then you can win the lottery."
did you do it?
No. And then I had to explain that's literally not how it works. You don't just pick it and everybody wins because then there would be no lottery. Also, where the hell did you learn this? And what do you expect me to do when I'm rich? And of course, it was to buy them all the bucks that they want.
I wouldn't wanna win the lottery though, because like, have you ever seen that, like, Curse of the Lottery? Everybody that wins it is, like, dead.
So on that note, oh my goodness. Did you come up with like a happy, fluffy, like feel good thing to leave the podcast with?
Of course I did.
Okay, what do you have?
So, in a rural town in Indiana, I'm just kidding. So there was a cafe and it was a transgender teenager that was scared to go to the counter and then unsure of how like they would be received from them. And so when they ordered their coffee, they heard the baristas talking between each other about LGBTQ rights. And then when it was time to pay, the cashier handed the teenager their drink with a smiley on it, and it said, "It's on the house. We support you over here." And then the teenager left super happy.
Oh, I love that though. That story makes me really, really happy. That's really sweet.
Especially for, like, everything going on with trans and everything and stuff. It's just we love a good field story.
We do. I love that story, and I think it's perfect to leave off today's episode with because we like to end it with something happy because the world is a dark,
Clearly.
place. Thank you for hanging out with us today and being random. Make sure if you liked this podcast, please leave it a review because we are little tiny baby podcasters and pretty much the only people listen are you and me. And so if you are listening to us and you're not Ben Beverly or Mara Franklin, leave us a little rating and review. It should be available everywhere that you get your podcasts. You can also go to our Instagram, which is at Random Randomness Pod, I think, on Instagram, or there's also going to be the questions listed. I'm going to pick one of these. No, I'm going to go to the Spotify page and I'm going to post a question of like, what weird laws have you heard of? And you can leave your weird laws there. You can also answer the icebreaker question, which was if you could be any animal, what would you be? So
Are we not on all the platforms? Like, for
we are.
social media?
I still have to make us a TikTok. So, but we are on Instagram and that's the one. So no, no, we're not on all the
We're
platforms.
not no, we're only on one.
We're we're on one. I do still need to make us a TikTok, and I need to
YouTube, Twitter.
YouTube. Yeah, so that's coming up soon. Is it will be available on YouTube, but right now I know that we are on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and I believe Stitcher as well for like
We're doing
podcast listen. We're doing
we're
all the
big.
things. Oh yes, we're so great. Okay, so thank you again, and we will see you guys, or I guess you'll hear us next week. Bye.